He crashed his Mercedes at 5 p.m., tears streaming down his face, live streaming his breakdown to 200,000 people. Her name was on his lips, and the internet watched as a king fell. Before we dive into this heartbreaking story of fame, love, and sacrifice, do me a favor. If you believe in real love, hit that like button right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this story will change how you see relationships forever. Let me take you on a journey. The city that never sleeps, where dreams are born in the heat and hustle of a million voices all screaming to be heard. In a small room with peeling paint and a single flickering bulb, a boy sat in front of his phone. His name was Henry, 20 years old, broke, unknown, hungry for something more. But Henry had one thing that money couldn't buy: a dream. Every night he'd go live on TikTok, singing, dancing, making jokes, acting out wild characters that made people laugh. His energy was electric, unfiltered, raw. Most nights 5 people watched, sometimes 10. On good nights, maybe 50. But Henry didn't care about the numbers. He cared about the craft, the connection, the possibility that one day someone would see him and think, this kid is special. His friends called him crazy. Henry, when will you get a real job? You're wasting your time on that phone. Nobody makes it from here. But Henry kept streaming, night after night, building his world one viewer at a time. He called himself Panther online, a name that meant nothing yet, a name waiting to become something. And then one night, everything changed. 300 miles away, in another corner of Lagos, a young woman sat in front of her mirror. Her name was Elizabeth. 23 years old, beautiful, mysterious. But Elizabeth wasn't preparing to be herself tonight. She was preparing to become someone else. She painted her face white, drew mechanical lines across her cheeks, programmed her movements to be stiff, robotic, inhuman. Her eyes became glass. Her smile became a glitch. Her voice became a machine. She called herself Jennifer. But everyone else called her the robot girl. Elizabeth had discovered something powerful. In a world where everyone was trying to be seen, she became invisible by becoming something else. Something unforgettable. Her TikTok exploded. 1 million followers. Then 2. Then 3. People were obsessed with Jennifer the robot. They'd watch for hours, trying to catch her break character, trying to see the human beneath the machine. But Elizabeth never broke. Not on camera. Not when people doubted her. Not when the fame came rushing in like a flood. She was disciplined, focused, untouchable. Until the night she met Henry. It happened on a random Tuesday night. Henry was live streaming as usual. 50 people watching. He was doing his thing, making wild jokes, dancing like nobody was watching, being himself. And then a notification popped up. Jennifer joined your live. His heart stopped. The Jennifer, the robot girl, 3 million followers. The most famous TikToker in Nigeria was in his live stream. Henry froze for a second. Then he smiled. Yo, robot girl, what you doing in my stream? Your algorithm broken or something? The chat exploded. Jennifer is here. No way. Collab, collab. And then Jennifer did something unexpected. She requested to join his live. Henry's hands were shaking as he accepted. And there she was, in her white makeup, mechanical movements, expressionless face. But Henry didn't treat her like a robot. He treated her like a person. Yo, Jennifer, I know you're in character, but real talk. How you doing tonight? You good? There was a pause. A long pause. And then, for the first time in months, the robot glitched. Jennifer smiled. A real smile. Small. Almost invisible. but real. I'm good, Henry. The chat went insane. She broke character. Did y'all see that? Ship them. That night, Henry gained 10,000 new followers, but more importantly, he gained something else, a connection. Over the next few months, Henry and Jennifer kept showing up in each other's lives, random collabs, late-night streams, inside jokes. Henry would make Jennifer laugh, really laugh, until the robot mask slipped and Elizabeth showed through. And Elizabeth found something in Henry she hadn't felt in years: safety. In a world where everyone wanted something from her, Henry just wanted to make her smile. He didn't care about her followers, her fame, her money. He cared about her. And slowly, the internet began to notice. Are they dating? They have to be together. The way he looks at her. But both of them denied it. Publicly. Firmly. We're just friends. It's all content. Don't believe everything you see. But privately, in the messages no one saw, in the late-night calls after the cameras turned off, something was growing. Something real. Something terrifying. The Pulse Influencer Awards, Laga's biggest night for content creators. Henry had been nominated for Breakout Creator of the Year. Nobody expected him to win. He was up against giants, established names, people with millions of followers, but when they called his name, the room erupted. Henry walked to that stage in a daze. He grabbed the trophy. His hands were shaking, and then he did something that changed everything. He called Elizabeth onto the stage. Yo, Jennifer. Elizabeth, get up here. The crowd went silent. Elizabeth stood up slowly, this time without her robot makeup, but shy and blushing. She walked to the stage like she was floating. Henry grabbed the microphone. I couldn't have done this without you. You believed in me when nobody else did. You saw me when I was invisible. And I just want to say... He paused. The entire room held its breath. Thank you. And then Elizabeth did something that broke the internet. She kissed him. Right there. On stage. In front of cameras. In front of thousands of people watching the live stream. The robot girl kissed the dreamer. And the world lost its mind. For 2 months, Henry and Elizabeth were Nigeria's golden couple. Every brand wanted them. Every platform featured them. Every young person looked up to them. They were proof that love and fame could coexist. That real connection could survive the spotlight. Henry's live streams now pulled 100,000 viewers, 200,000, 300,000. He even broke the record for the highest viewed live stream in African history. 389,000 unique viewers when a massive celebrity joined his stream. Henry was no longer the broke kid in the small room. He bought a Mercedes-Benz, designer clothes, moved into a luxury apartment, and through it all, Elizabeth was there. His robot girl, his anchor. But success has a price, and they were about to pay it. December 2024. Henry knelt in an upscale restaurant surrounded by friends, family, and cameras. He pulled out a ring. Elizabeth, will you marry me? The internet watched. Millions of people watched. And Elizabeth said, It's just a promise ring. Henry's face fell for a split second before he recovered with a smile. But that moment, that hesitation, it was caught on camera. Replayed. Analyzed. Memed. She doesn't really love him. She's using him for clout. He's moving too fast. She's too good for him. The comments started pouring in. The pressure started building. Henry was 20 years old with millions watching his every move. Elizabeth was 23, scared of losing herself in someone else's dream. And neither of them knew how to handle it. The argument started small, private, behind closed doors. But in the world of influencers, nothing stays private for long. Henry couldn't control his emotions anymore. One moment he was happy. The next, devastated. Then angry. then apologetic. The fame had gotten into his head. The money. The pressure to perform. To be perfect. To keep the dream alive. Elizabeth tried to hold on. Tried to be patient. Tried to love him through it. But she was drowning too. People accused her of money laundering, of using Henry, of being fake. The robot girl who once controlled everything was losing control, and the dreamer who once had nothing was terrified of losing everything. "I need space," Elizabeth finally said. "No, please, I'll change. I'll be better," Henry begged, but the damage was done. Trust was broken, peace was gone, love was bleeding out, and the internet that had celebrated them, now it wanted blood. December 16th, 2025. 5 p.m. Henry got into his Mercedes-Benz. He started a live stream titled R.I.P. Panther. 200,000 people joined immediately. He was crying, rambling, heartbroken. "I lost her. I lost everything. I don't know what to do anymore." And then he started driving. Fast, reckless, dangerous. "Henry, stop the car. Someone call the police. This isn't funny anymore." The comments screamed at him, begged him, pleaded with him, but Henry wasn't listening. His mind was in chaos. His heart was shattered. And then, crash. The live stream went black. For 30 seconds. Silence. Then the camera flickered back on. Henry was slumped over the wheel. The front of the car crumpled against a barrier on the Lekki-Ipi Expressway, but he was alive, crying, broken, but alive. The internet exploded. News outlets picked it up. Social media platforms went crazy. Everyone had an opinion. This is what fame does to people. She broke his heart. He's too young for all this. This is all for clout. And in the middle of it all, Elizabeth sat in her room, watching the footage. The robot girl was crying now, really crying, because the boy she loved was destroying himself, and she didn't know how to save him. Elizabeth made a video the next day. No makeup. No robot. No character. Just her. Raw. Real. Human. "Henry and I are done. It's over. For now. I need everyone to stop mocking him. Stop making jokes. Stop treating this like entertainment. This is real life. These are real emotions, and we're both just trying to survive." The video went viral for different reasons this time. People saw the pain, the humanity, the cost of fame. Henry disappeared from social media for 2 weeks. When he came back, he was different, quieter, humbler, wiser. On January 1st, 2026, during a live stream, someone asked about Elizabeth. Henry smiled sadly. "We're friends now, just friends. I apologized to her family. They were angry, but they forgave me. I learned a lot about myself, about love, about growing up." He paused. "This year, I'm staying away from relationships. I need to work on me. I need to be better. For myself. And maybe one day, for someone else." The comments were different this time. "Proud of you, Henry. Growth looks good on you. You got this, King." And somewhere, Elizabeth watched that live stream and smiled, because the boy she fell for, the dreamer with the big heart and wild energy, he was still in there. Just older now, wiser, healing. Here's what they don't tell you about love. It's not enough to care about someone. It's not enough to want them. It's not enough to try. Sometimes, love needs time, space, growth. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is let them go. Not forever. Not with hate. Not with bitterness. But with hope. Hope that they'll heal. Hope that they'll grow. Hope that they'll become the person they're meant to be. Henry and Elizabeth's story isn't over, but this chapter is. And maybe that's okay. Because some love stories aren't about the ending. They're about the journey, the lessons learned, the growth experienced, the person you become because someone believed in you. Henry is still creating, still streaming, still dreaming. Elizabeth is still inspiring, still performing, still growing. And the internet? The internet moved on to the next viral moment. But for those who were there, who watched it unfold, who felt every emotion, we learned something important. Fame is temporary, clout is fleeting, viral moments fade, but the way you treat people, the way you handle pressure, the way you grow from pain, that's forever. So let me ask you something. Have you ever loved someone so much that you lost yourself? Have you ever had to walk away from something beautiful because it was destroying you? Have you ever learned that sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same thing? Drop your story in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's heal together. And if this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button because next week, we're diving into another story that'll change how you see the world. Until then, remember this. You are not your mistakes. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your worst moment caught on camera. You are your growth, your resilience, your ability to stand back up. And that's what makes you human. Peace.